If you would like to donate to Poor Man's Sewing, come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, then come up here and look for About, and right here you can donate to the channel, and every donation is really appreciated. We thank you very much, and I hope you have a blessed day. Alright, we are starting on Acts, and we're on 24. Then we got 25, 26, 27, 28. We got 2 more videos. Well, yeah, 2 more, because I'm only going to put 24 on this one. No, I'm going to go ahead and do 25 too. Because 24 kind of looks... See what time it is. Alright, here we go with 24. Acts 24. And after 5 days, Annas, the high priest, descended with the elders and with a certain orator named Tertullus, who informed the governor against Paul. And when he had called forth, Tertullus began to accuse him, saying, See, that by thee we enjoy great quietness, and that very worthy deed are none unto this nation by the providence. We accept it away, and in all places must noble flex with all thankfulness. Notwithstanding that I be no further treacherous unto thee, I pray thee that thou wouldest hear us of our calamity a few words. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. They are supposed to be Nazarene. Alright. Who also have gone about to profane the temple, whom we took and would have judged according to our law. But the chief captain, Laius, came upon us with a great violence, took him away out of our hands, commanding his accusers to come unto thee by examining of whom thyself mayest take knowledge of all these things whereof we accused him. And the Jews also assented, saying that these things were so. When Paul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answer, Forasmuch as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do thee more cheerfully answer for myself, because that thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship. And they neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogue nor in the city. He's saying, you can't prove this. I didn't do none of it. Neither can they prove the things thereof they now accuse me of. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, to worship I the God of my fathers, believe all things which are written in the law and in the prophets, and have hope towards God, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust. Now, if you notice, there's going to be two different types of resurrection, and it's going to be the just and the unjust. All right. It really don't say if they're going to be together or separate, but in my reading and it's all going to be the same, because I think it's in Revelation. He said, "Put one on my right hand and the other on my left hand." So we have two different. Look, there's only one Jesus, and he has a right and a left. Now I want you to pay attention to this, because this is what you have in politics. It is one body with one hand and then with the other hand. One right, one left. And they work together. Okay? You may not think they do, but they work together. Alright. This is just so they can fool you. Okay. And herein do I excuse myself to have a conscience void of offense towards God and towards man. Now, after many years, I came to bring alms to my nation, an offering, whereupon certain Jews from Asia found me purified in the temple, neither with multitude, nor with Talmud, who ought to have been there before thee, an object of they had aught against me. Or else let these same there say, if there have found any evil doing in me, while I stood before the council, except for it be for this one voice, that I cry standing among them, touching the resurrection or teaching. No, it says touching the resurrection of the dead, I am called in question by you this day. And when Flex heard these things, having more perfect knowledge of what that way he differed them, and said, when Laius, the chief captain, shall come down, I will know the uttermost of your matter. And he commanded a centurion to keep Paul, and to let him have liberty. In other words, he says, let him go wherever he wants to go, but you stay with him. Don't let him out of your sight. You know, if that centurion would have let him out of his sight, that centurion would be dead. Okay. And that he should forbid none of his acquaintances to minister or to come unto him. And after certain days, when Flex came to his wife Dorlius, which was a Jewess, she sent for Paul and heard him concerning the faith of Christ. And as he responded of the righteousness, temperedness, and judgment to come, Flex turned bed and answered, go thy way for this time. When I have a convenient season, I will call for thee. He hoped also that money should have been given him a Paul, that he might lose him. Wherefore he sent for him the oftener and a commune with him. In other words, what I understand here, if I give you $50, would you go away? The guy with a ticket went away. But instead, the officer stayed with him. Alright, so he had to stay with him the whole time until she says, I want to see him. Alright, but after 2 years, Porcius Felix came into Flex's room, and Flex, willing to show the Jews a pleasure, left Paul bound. So he was bound over 2 years with this one character. Alright, we're on 25, and I'm going to go ahead and read it because it's only 9 minutes. Now when Theus was come unto the province, after 3 days, he ascended from Caesarea to Jerusalem. When the high priest and the chief of the Jews informed him against Paul, and besought him, I desire favor against him, that he would send for me to Jerusalem, lay in wait in the way to kill him. But Festus answered that Paul should be kept at Caesarea, and that he himself would depart shortly thither. Let them therefore, said he, which among you are able, go down with me, and accuse this man, if there be any wickedness in him. And when he had tarried among them more than 10 days, he went down to Caesarea, and the next day, sitting on the judgment seat, commanding Paul to be brought. And when he was come, the Jew which came down from Jerusalem stood around about, and laid many and grievous complaints against Paul, which they could not prove. While he answered for himself, neither against the law of the Jew, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar, have I offered anything at all. But Festus, willing to do the Jews a pleasure, answered Paul and said, Wilt thou go up to Jerusalem, and there be judge of those things before me? Then said Paul, I stand at Caesar's judgment seat, where I ought to be judged. To the Jew have I done no wrong, as thou very well knowest. For if I, being a offender, or having committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die. But if there be none of these things thereof, those accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar. Then Festus, when he had confessed with the council, answered, Hast thou appealed unto Caesar? Unto Caesar thou shalt thou go. And after certain days, King Agrippa and Bernice came to Caesarea to salute Festus. And when they had been there many days, Festus declared Paul caused unto the king, saying, There is a certain man left in bound for Flexus, about whom, when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priests and the elders of the Jews informed me, desiring to have judgment against him. To whom I answered, It is not the matter of the Romans to deliver any man to die. Before that he which is accused had the accusers face to face, and have license to answer for himself concerning the crime laid against him. Therefore, when they were come thither, without any delay on the morrow, I sat on the judgment seat, and commanded the man to be brought forth, against whom, when the accusers stood up, they brought none accusations of such thing as I supposed, but had certain questions against him of their own station of me, and of one Jesus, which was dead, whom Paul affirmed to be alive. And because I doubted of such manner of question, I asked him whether he would go to Jerusalem, and there would be judges of these matter. But when Paul had appealed to be reserved unto the hearing of Augustus, I commanded him to be kept till I might send him to Caesar. When Agrippa said unto Festus, I would also hear the man myself. Tomorrow, said he, thou shalt hear him. And on the morrow, when Agrippa was come, and Bernice with great pomp, and was entitled, as he entered into the place of hearing with the chief captain and the political men of the city, at Festus' command, Paul was brought forth. And Festus said, King Agrippa, and all men which are here present with us, you see this man, about whom all the middlest of the Jews have dealt with me, both at Jerusalem, also here, crying that he ought not to live any longer. Now, when a word is got a split in it in my Bible, it's kind of hard for me to kind of put them together. All right, 25. But when I found that he had committed nothing worthy of death, and that he himself had appealed to Augustus, I have determined to send him, of whom I have no certain thing to write unto my Lord. Wherefore I have brought him forth before you, and especially before thee, O King Agrippa, that after examination had, I might have somewhat to write. For it seemeth to me unreasonable to send a prisoner, and not withal I signify the crime laid against him. Alright, we're going 26, and let me take a look. I think I'll read 28 by itself. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Hugs and kisses. If you would like to donate to Poor Man's Sewing, come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, then come up here and look for About, and right here you can donate to the channel, and every donation is really appreciated. We thank you very much, and I hope you have a blessed day.